Hello there everyone, this is I am Mark 3 and welcome back to the great big stompy robot simulator that is MechWarrior Online. Yes indeed. Today we have what is, I think, the logical conclusion to the recent experiments with MRM 40s and 30s on a Stalker chassis. And that is to find a more optimal chassis for it. So, yeah, that's why I've got this dingly doodad thing here. Yes, indeed. This is an Archer. My first Archer, I would like to know. With how I've been doing lately with increasing depression and tired and sick and yada yada yada, I mean, that's why I've kind of like sort of withdrawn into my shell and I'm cowering under my rock, just eating the moss under there. You know, it's quite nice and homely under my rock. Maybe someday I'll even install a light under there, but until then, you know, just got to fumble around in the darkness, but as you do. And I decided, hey, I'm going to treat myself a little bit on MechWarrior Online. I've actually managed to scrape together a little bit of money, so I did. That's why I've got 4,000 more Seabills. And by coincidence, this weekend is actually like a half off on many different champion mechs weekend. And I wanted a champion mech because they give extra Seabills. So, yeah. What we have here is the ARCT variant, or the Archer Champion. I'm not quite sure what the T stands for, to be quite honest. Let's actually take a look. Mech Lab, select mech. What is this? Doesn't say. The ARCT. Anyway, that is the mech for today's walk. And it follows in the same vein as the Stalker loadouts that have appeared in the last couple of weeks, as I've mentioned. So, let's get into this, shall we? Primer weapons are, unsurprisingly, a pair of MRM-40s. These are in fact the same MRM-40s that were on the Stalker. I stripped them out of the Stalker and put them into this particular mech. So it's got those two MRM-40s. It's standard missile guidance. I don't really think Artemis actually works with MRM, so there's no point upgrading it. It's got an Endosteel chassis, double heat sinks, and standard armor. So, as you can see, since I've actually bought this thing, I've tried to make it as good as I can with my available resources. So, these MM40s are fed by 5 tons of ammunition, slightly less than the Stalker, but this is a smaller mech, you've got to remember. And the backup weapon system is a pair of ER small lasers, rather than like on the Stalker, which had 4 ER meds. So it's like, much weaker on the lasers, but the lasers are there as a secondary / last ditch weapon rather than anything else. And this build is kind of tightly packed. So anyway, let's continue. In the left torso, we have an additional piece of equipment, the Guardian ECM suite. So this is an ECM fitted mech, making it harder to lock onto and notice when it's nearby. So, you know, a bit of stealth on a lighter chassis, so that's always good. And then on the right side, Razul, if you spot this video, you're going to like this one. We've got an AMS slot, which features an AMS with 1 ton of ammunition, or 2,000 shots. I considered putting in the laser AMS, but given the restraints on the chassis, my heat management rating dropped to 1.02, as in, if I was firing everything, this mech would barely be losing any heat at all. So, you know, that's really bad. So that's why I've got a projectile-based AMS instead, in this case. An alternate configuration, though, is if I strip out the AMS and its ammo, I could mount an extra pair of ER small lasers, 1 in each arm, and an extra half ton of MRM ammo. And I'm not sure which one I would prefer, honestly. So since this is a testing video and it's the initial outings of this mech, we're going with the AMS equipped version. So we've got extra missile defense at the cost of some lost firepower and ammunition. Quite honestly, I'd be happy if I could drop this light engine to a 275, but the problem is that's like 3.5 million Seabills to do, so can't afford that. But it would free up a little bit of weight, so that is an alternate version just to further optimize the chassis to what I wanted to do. Let's see. Yeah, that would free up 2.5 tons if I dropped the engine to a 275, which could open all sorts of interesting options, like adding in some additional laser upgrades, actually putting in a heatsink in the engine slot, because this mech is almost out of slots. So A 275 would actually be ideal for this. It'll be quite a bit more flexible. Extra lasers and extra cooling. But this is what I've got. So double MM40, a pair of VR lasers, and an AMS and Guardian ECM for general protection / team assistance. Because this mech does not work well by itself. One-on-one, during my initial test run, to figure out if I wanted more lasers or more cooling on it, I went up against a bushwhacker, and he completely and utterly totaled me. Mainly because, you know, it's a bushwhacker. It's more of an assault-oriented mech. You know, bigger on the boom boom, and it's only slightly lighter than me as well, so he had better pinpoint weaponry. Anyway, that's enough of going off on a tangent. Let's take this thing out for its walk. Roll on match number 1. Here we go.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Fleet command coming in. Capture the target area and engage any hostiles.
Okay, here we go. Welcome one and all to the Frozen City. The game mode is Domination. Yeah, Domination. Domination is the one with a single point. Also, they seem to have lost someone. Not sure who. But yes, welcome. Now, I do kind of make it a point to mention if a mech has given features or things like that. I mean, this is a lighter mech. It's got decent torso twist, so that's one of its improvements over the Stalker. The Stalker's a terrible torso twist mech. This mech's much better at it. Let's actually test one of my lasers for a second. No heat build-up at all. Yeah, that's why I don't have any heat sinks. Right. So,
Need some support.
first off, anyone who's familiar with the term rabbit ears? It's normally applied to a catapult, and it means how when the flaps on its arms open, it actually extends the hitbox of that particular component. So if a catapult's bay doors are opened, then it pops up higher, and so those bay doors can be shot to damage the arms. This archer also has a similar thing, except it's on the torso. Let me show you. Pop. Look at my rabbit ears, everyone. Yes, indeed, they're lovely. Unfortunately, they greatly increase the profile of the mech, so it's better not to have it as a thing, you know? So, because of that, there's going to be a slight firing delay. Oh, I'm talking really...
on the G6 side of things.
I'm getting sniped by lasers, jeez. It's really better if I don't use those, so there'll be like half second to a second lag when I fire my missiles between me pressing the button and between them launching. So that's something to be aware of in this mech. The other thing is that I've actually got my cockpit is center mass. It's in the middle of my torso. So that is another feature, and that's why there was an orange ball on my mech in the mech lab. I should have mentioned it there, but I didn't think to.
Target acquired.
That's actually slightly too far away from me. Ooh.
Target spotted.
New target acquired. Enter torso. Critical
Jeez.
damage.
Yeah, I'm dying really quickly. Ow. Well, this is not the way I wanted to go, but I'm kind of short on options, so... run away, run away, run away. Wait. Oh, look, it's missiles. Ah!
Critical damage.
Ow.
Warning, incoming missile.
Cover, however briefly.
They're up behind us in ESO.
Target spotted.
They are moving well behind me, and I am massively damaged. I do not want to be out here much longer.
Not a bunch of G's hanging out here in the back.
Dear.
New target acquired.
Fortunately, that's out of range of everything. I can only... 550 meters is my MRM range, so that's too far away. I do not want to be out here, especially with my mech so badly damaged. Ow.
Ouch.
New target acquired.
And there we go. Dead. So as you can see, I just got called out. My center torso just got blown up. 38 damage done. That was a terrible match. But honestly, the enemy just moved around the side and nailed most of my armor before I could even do anything. So that's why that was such a bad match. Unfortunately, it happens. So roll on match number 2, because I'm pretty sure I know which way this is going. Yeah, 3-1. I think we're losing this. Alright, as a brief aside, here I am in the mech lab. I just figured I might show you guys. First off, there's a couple of other drawbacks of the Archer is it's kind of easy to see where you're aiming at. I mean, this is the leg, this is the torso, these are the side torsos. So, as you can see, it's really easy to see where you're shooting at. And there's the head, right there, just that little bit. I know you probably noticed it when I was in the mech lab before, but that is where it is. Just sitting right there, front, dead center of the mech. I think the upper panel is the one to shoot if you want to damage the head armor, but I can't remember which one it is actually. I don't normally pay attention to such things. If I blow a head off, it's by accident usually. But yeah, I just figured that'd be a quick aside to show you the general profile of the mech a little bit more. Anyway, roll on, as I said, to match number 2 of 3. That first one was so short, it's actually going to be a 3-match video. So, yeah. Here we go.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, here we go! Match number 2. This is HPG Manifold. The game mode is Assault, so blow the enemy base up, don't get blown up, and my leg's already damaged, thank you very much, oh Mr. Hellbringer. Oh well. That's one of the flaws of dropping from an assault mech to a heavy, and a light heavy at that. The Archer's one of the lightest ones. It's going to have less armour. There's no two ways about it. But on the other hand, it is faster, and it's more compact as well. So it's got a smaller profile to it. Unless the bay doors open. That's one of the key drawbacks of the Archer. Actually, it's just those bay doors. Oh well. If you've got a covered missile system, you've got to put up with that. Also, that first match was actually kind of unfortunate because we were caught in the open, there wasn't much by way of cover, and the enemy had a lot of mid to long range
Target
nonsense
acquired.
to just throw at us. So that's why I was getting hit by lots and lots of lasers and cannons, and I didn't get hit by the Gauss rifle, someone else did, but that was a thing as well, a Gauss rifle was getting involved too. I know I saw an enemy over there. No, he's hiding. Okay. Ah.
Delta.
That Arctic cheetah was just running out in front. Ow. And as you can see, I got punished really fast. They've got the high ground advantage, there's no way about that. So I'm not going to be much use in that. And I lost like half of my armor plating from that as well, so that's also a thing.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
So yeah, they've got all their heavy equipment up there now, so that's not much I can do to stop it. And I've got to be wary because, of course, I don't have the armor to do much about it. I don't have jump jets either. I did look, but this mech can't actually have any. So, oh, an annihilator. If he pushes up, I'm going to support him.
New target acquired.
Yes, hello, Mr. Annihilator.
Charlie's open
Alright, everyone wants to follow me up, go right for it.
Right behind you.
New target acquired.
Oh, yeah, that Annihilator's getting mulched, but he is pushing up and absorbing a lot of fire. And I'm glad to report that my cooling system seems to be coping. Oops. And I accidentally glanced him in the back with the laser. Oh well. We now have the high ground. Huzzah!
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
I just have to watch out because of... Yep, things like that. Ugh. That was kind of close.
New
But I've
target
got... I am
acquired.
providing ECM coverage though, so that is useful.
New target acquired.
That was an enemy archer actually with an LRMs and streak loadout. Hmm. I didn't realise I was shooting at an enemy archer, actually.
Need assistance.
New target acquired.
Ugh. Nope. Nope. Yeah, now that I've actually got cover and terrain, I'm doing quite nicely. Oh, I actually managed to kill him.
Target destroyed. Target
2 kills!
acquired.
Double kill! Huzzah!
Target spotted.
I'm just focusing on
New
really
target
badly
acquired.
weakening the enemy armor. No, back up. Problem is, of course, got to remember my lasers are
Warning,
incredibly weak,
incoming
so
missile.
Ow.
AMS ammo at 25%.
my AMS is getting a massive
Warning,
loadout, but it is
incoming
helping against
missile.
those missile boats that are running around. I want to try and kill one of them. Oh, he's moving that way. It's just like I like how it's muffled in this environment. Oh, that's a piranha. I've not actually seen one of those yet. It's just I've not been on the last few days, and of course the piranha launched a few days ago. But yeah, I really do feel like, unlike last time, because I've got support, I'm sticking with my
New target
heavy,
acquired.
my heavier teammate. He's sharing his arm with me. I am sharing my firepower with him. It's really useful. That's why I like to play fire support. Actually, it's like oh, he died.
Target spotted.
I love to play fire support. It's what I'm best at in a supporting role.
New target
Oh, hello,
acquired.
Piranha. Those guys are wow. Those guys are so small and fast.
Piranha's like,
MRM ammo at 25%. Target destroyed.
Okay, good. He's dead. That annihilator looks so badly damaged. 38%. Yeah, he's
Target
really messed up.
acquired.
I could tell because of all the smoke and stuff. Oh, there's another piranha. Oh dear. Right, piranhas. Yep, he's got
Target
massive machine
destroyed.
guns and he's dead. Oh, that
Good
would
job,
look
guys,
nasty.
good
PPZ straight in the face. So yeah, that was a good game actually, and I was actually using my mech properly that time. Game 1 was just sheer bad luck. Yeah, see, 495 damage done. I got a solo kill and 9 kill assists. 2 outright killing blows as well, so there's only one enemy I didn't attack during that. That's quite nice. Once again, the MRM's doing massive amounts of damage, and I'm getting used to the time lag before I can fire them. So yeah, here we go. Roll on match number 3.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to match number 3 and Alpine Peaks. The game mode is Assault. Where's that stalk even going? And we seem to have an idle mad cat. Good start. Good start. I'll hook up with the these two, a Night Gaia and a what is that? A Warhammer. All right, so I'm going to stick with the heavy equipment here. One of my allies has got the same idea. Hello. Right. And we'll see what this heavy lance can do. Though we seem to be wandering out in the open. This is not ideal terrain for me, but
Target
as you can
acquired.
do. Part of me wishes that I'd gone with some kind of ranged option, I must admit. Like maybe an LRM launcher in my center torso. Problem is an LRM5 is like 2 tons and then you need at least half a ton of ammunition for it. So, you know, and it would be very much. Or maybe maybe an ER large laser. I mean, this mech could reasonably ridge peak. It's got center torso mounts right on top of the mech. So just ridge peaking, I could quite easily pop over a ridge and shoot a laser and then pop back into cover again. So that would be quite reasonable.
Target acquired.
So there's that Stormcrow. Alright. It's hiding. So yeah, that might be an optional thing, but the problem is an ER large is like a heavy piece of equipment, so, you know, it's not going to be great. Anyway, this is the final match, so of course this is where I talk about the loadout itself and what do I think of it. And my general impressions are it's actually quite favourable compared to the Stalker. I mean, yeah, sure, it's got less armour, it's got less backup weaponry, but it's more mobile and it's a bit more compact as a result as well.
New target acquired.
Yeah, I'm not good at any... I have lost the some of the versatility because I don't have the ER meds. That's why I stuck with the ER meds last week, by the way, rather than just downgrading to a medium laser. Because I actually wanted the flexibility of the range rather than just like flat out...
Warning, incoming missile.
Ugh. Ow! Rather than just like a flat out
Warning, incoming missile.
DPS, which is what the standard lasers would have given me. And I walked straight into
Leave the
that.
king crowd alone. He's a DC.
Roger that. So the king crab is just a sitting target. Ignore him. The problem is, of course, one thing that's you've got to be aware of with an archer is you pop up, and if you let loose with your missiles, your covers pop open as
New
well.
target acquired.
They're pushing us. Watch out!
New target acquired.
Jeez. They're all here. Ow!
Incoming missile.
Ow, 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 ow. Why am I on the front line? Ow!
Warning, incoming missile.
This is actually terrible. Ow!
Left torso critical damage.
I am
Warning,
Ow!
missile.
Well, there goes my side torso. Good. That's why I've got a light engine on this blooming thing.
Left arm destroyed.
Bloody hell.
MRM destroyed. New target acquired. Center torso critical damage.
I am trailing smoke all over the darn place. Ow.
Ammo depleted.
And that, yeah, that, I knew that. Evan Jaguar was trying to kill me. This is what I said when it's like, when you get into a pop-up, well, we get into a firefight, this mech proved bad. I mentioned this at the start, like one-on-one against a bushwhacker, which is slightly lighter than me. It was doing nasty things to me. I lack single target focus DPS. I've got splash damage. That's what I do. Splash. I mean, I've got some single target on the lasers, but seriously. So when they started to rush over the hill like that, because they had everyone there, and this guy's just going for the king crab for some reason, they pushed up with their entire force, and we had less mechs than them. So I was forced to retreat immediately. I did keep firing, but every time I fire my MRMs, the covers on my shoulders pop up, and that makes my side torsos like almost twice as easy to target. I mean, look, you just saw it on that. Yeah, look there, just on the right there. That is a archer with raised covers. As you can see, it just like pops up this massive target zone. So that's one of the drawbacks of the archer. And this guy's dead. Yep. But that push definitely secured them the win. I also don't know where this stalker is. This stalker just wandered off by himself. ER meds at L20. So he's an LRM stalker. Not exactly an ideal loadout, especially since he wandered off by himself. He was too light on the LRMs, I think, to be a proper LRM assault mech. Then again, there is that entire old saying, LRMs means you're wasting an assault mech. Not so, but the assault mech must be specialised, and that stalker was like half and half, and that's a bad combination usually, I find. If you're half and half like that, you want to stick with the main thrust so you can share your armour with the rest of your team and be a decoy. But he was trying to play LRM, so his lasers were out of the fight. His armour was out of that fight. We could have used him during that rush, because he could have withstood a fair bit of punishment in that. But anyway, enough rambling. That's yeah. Blah. Enough rambling about what may have been, what could have been, yada yada. Let's get to the nitty gritty. This Archer, yep, I like it. The AMS feels like it's excess weight a little bit. Especially on a build that's packed this tightly. But then again, the heat wasn't really an issue because of how I balanced it. The lasers are really weak, so some kind of extra ranged option, some kind of upgrade to the lasers would be nice. But I'm not sure about the AMS. I'd say keep it as a projectile AMS, actually. Unless I can get a 275 light engine, in which case I can fit a heatsink and I can justify switching it to a laser AMS. But right now, projectile AMS is necessary just for heat management. A laser AMS would just overheat the mech way too much. But yeah. This is definitely a nice little archer, and it's quite mobile for what it does. It's just, if it gets targeted in a close and brutal firefight, its armor melts so fast. That's one of the drawbacks, isn't it? It's a light, heavy mech. It's not very durable. It's a 70-tonner. So yeah, it's definitely on the light end. But anyway, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I'll catch you all some other time. Yes, indeed. See you all later.